Yo, what's up, everybody?
What's up?
It's your boy Blitz.
And I'm your boy Blitz&Blurr.
Yo, Game Changers Entertainment coming at you one more time.
Yes.
And we came in here to do some more reviewing on our CyberPunk 2077 review.
That's right.
Now we're going to do Act 2 mid-game review.
Right.
We'll be talking about things that happen after Act 1, after you get shot by Dexter Deshawn and revived by Takamura.
Hold on, before we do that. Spoilers. Game spoilers. Spoilers. Spoilers.
All right, so
Spoilers.
we're gonna have a couple of spoilers you heard from here from DJ Blur here. So check it out. So Act 1, you're shot by Dexter Deshawn, and Act 2 really starts when you're revived by Takamura, where he revived when you're pulled from the junkyard and Dexter Deshawn is face blasted by my man Tackle.
Yeah, I'm kind of mad about that because I thought I wanted to do the face blasting because Dexter Deshawn kind of pissed me off.
Yeah.
And I didn't like the way they said go in the bathroom. Like, no, I would never do that. We already said that.
Okay.
You know, I'm kind of mad about that.
It's okay.
I feel some type of way.
Woosah. Put it down. Okay. So, yeah, we kind of want to get back at Dexter Deshawn, but, that's on a revenge tip. But anyway. So we want to talk to you about is what happens after that.
Right.
For those who don't know. There are some spoilers coming involved, so make sure you hang in there.
Spoilers.
So, as far as spoilers concerned, not spoilers. As far as the game is concerned, let's talk about the new features and factors that happen. Number one, weapons.
Yes, the weapons get better as you go. Now all the boroughs or all the little
Parts of the city.
The boroughs of the city open up, and you can go in there. Now you can upgrade your cyberware. You can upgrade your blades. You can upgrade everything now. So now you're in the game proper.
Yeah.
And why I say proper, because you couldn't go to a lot of places in the first act. It just kind of kept you in a certain area.
Yeah, there's a restriction in the curfew that was put in place because of all the incidents that happened.
Well, that was a convenient way of saying we don't want you to leave the area.
Yeah.
So, but now you get to see some of the better weapons, some of the other gangs that you'll be fighting, some of the other things that you'll be doing. So it kind of opens up. Act 2 is the game proper, where you get to really get into the game and really feel yourself throughout the game.
So speaking of weapons, don't get too attached to any weapons in the beginning.
Yes. Though.
Because as the game progresses and the missions you go on, you're going to get better versions of everything you pick up.
Right.
Including brand new styles. Now, because I mentioned Dexter Deshawn and I'm talking about weapons, do you know that you can go back to that site where Dexter Deshawn was killed and get his gun, which is called Plan B, I believe.
And just do me a favor, just read the inscription about the gun. It costs you literally money every time you shoot it.
Every Eddie is one bullet. So you're literally shooting money. Now that would give you, in a sense, unlimited ammo, depending on how much money you have when you go find and look at it. But if you're down to like your last 15, 20 Eddies, you don't want to be there just spending ammo shooting that stuff like I did for.
Well, before we get into the guns, what do you think about the story? I mean, right now we got into part 2 of the story. What do you think as far as the story? Is it driving you? Is it still keeping your interest in the story? Mm-hmm. What do you think?
Well, so for part 2, when Takamura revives you, actually the chip revives you, and Takamura gets his hands on you, and he wants you're the key to him finding out what's going on.
Right.
So the way it brings him into the story, because you just see him as a bodyguard on Act 1, you don't really get to know anything about him. But Act 2, you kind of get to learn a little bit about him. And his character is interesting enough that you want to kind of see it through to see what's going on with this guy and just how tenacious he is, because he did take out the guy that actually killed you technically.
Right.
So you owe him that much at least to hear him out and follow him. So beginning of Act 2 with the story, I think is coming along very well. I think
I like the curveball they threw in there, and I don't know if this was part of the original story from 2012, I think it was, but Johnny Silverhand. Yeah. I think that is a good. I think the way they introduced him. Now, some people have been complaining whether he's he could have been acted better. I think Keanu Reeves did a good job to me. Yeah. Just his style, what he's talking about. The only thing I think I don't like about it is that there's really no benefit to him being in your brain, because she gives you a blue pill and a red pill, Matrix, and So I would think that what they would have done to me, they would have just said, look, when you really want to let loose and do more damage, but you're like in a psycho mode, take the red pill. It lasts for a couple of whatever.
That is excellent.
Because really he doesn't bring nothing to you. Now I can see if he brought all his fighting because he was in a war. He did fight in the war. The damage he done when you was using him for that brief moment was astronomical. So maybe when you let him free, you get other things that you can do.
Yeah, you should be able to pick up additional health.
Right.
Because his health revive without taking any supplements for it, he was able to revive his health like that. And yeah, you're right.
And I think some of his cybernetics, or you could find whatever. I just think they missed a big opportunity with really using him because she gives you, well, if you want to, keep your sanity, take this. But if you want to release the beast, so do this. Yeah. So I think they missed a big opportunity as far in that vein of the story. But him popping up, him giving this little sidebar, him saying little stuff like that is really, I think it really brings to the story. Because sometimes in the story, to be honest with you, I feel like I'm by myself. You have a whole city of everybody, but you really don't. It's like you do one or two things with somebody and that's it. So at least with Johnny, you get a little companion just to keep things kind of interesting, because sometimes it gets lonely. It's like, because in Act 2, you become, basically, before you even end the game, you could become a cyber god. In other words, nothing can hurt you. You can do a lot of damage. It's like Johnny Silverhand is the only, sometimes I'd be laughing at some of the stuff he's saying.
Yeah.
So I think what they should have done in this, I think they should have gave you should have been able to do more with different people. Mm-hmm. Like they could have came on different missions with you. You could, like Jackie. I wish we would have done more missions with Jackie. Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, and Johnny Silverhand in no ways replaces your companionship that you had with Jackie.
Right, it does.
Jackie was a homeboy from I played it from the street care perspective, and Jackie was one of you guys. You really gelled with him. Not that the other characters didn't, but the Johnny Silverhand character is more. He's more of a nuisance. In a bane.
Yeah, that's it, right.
But he comes in handy. So his knowledge of stuff in the past, like there's one point where you go into a record store and you're trying to convince a guy to give you something that help you further in your mission, and Johnny Silverhand is just feeding you the information, and then you're able to take that information and get what you need. So I think it should have been more instances like that where Johnny Silverhand's like, hey, you know what? I know this guy that had this katana, or I know a guy that had this shotgun or something.
Or
like
that. I know the guy that has an underground weapon armory that you can't find nowhere else.
Mm-hmm. Or something to that nature. Or you're like, hey, my old gun is probably still laying around. Now, another spoiler: Johnny Silverhand's gun that you use in during his time in the epilogue is phenomenal. You can once you aim it, you can see through structures and shoot through those structures and hit people. And I thought it was just like balconies and stuff, but it's like walls and brick walls.
Well, you know who else guns? Lizzie's guns like that a little bit.
Is it?
Yeah, when you can charge it up. But hers, you charge up and you can shoot through the some
Johnny
walls.
Silverhand's gun, you don't have to charge. Once you aim to him, it highlights him through the wall.
Oh wow!
You can just empty the clip on him, and then he has that melee that he does like this, the dragon's breath. So you can get that gun, but you have to beat the game, and then when your next playthrough. Or after you beat the game and you go back into the city, you can receive the gun, but not during the actual original gameplay.
See, they knew it was too powerful.
I mean, but Johnny Silverhand should have been like, "Hey, I wonder if my gun is still here." You know?
I think they missed a lot of opportunities with using him correctly. Yeah. Another thing I want to say is that the missions are wonderful. You do get a variety of different missions. Like you help a couple. They're on the political thing and they're trying to, and then you uncover their whole secret thing in their house.
That was huge.
That was a good story, but some of the stuff is just get repetitive. Like the police stuff gets repetitive. Stopping the arm and get
I'm not a huge. How you feel about the brain dances? I'm not a huge fan of the brain dance.
I think the brain dance.
I think it takes you out of the game.
I think the brain dance is excellent when it comes to detective work. The detective part where you can go in, hear things, and I think if they would, I don't know if they should use it more than what they use, because I think they have a good blend of what's going on with it. You only use it maybe 3 or 4 times in the game.
Well, the big brain dance is when you finally go to the Voodoo Boys.
Yeah.
and they go in there and you brain dance for like 20, 30 minutes straight.
I think that's a little too long.
Well, it was trying to tell you, it was trying to give you a perspective and tell you stuff, and I get that, and you had to go into the Matrix and talk to Neo.
Well, I wish they would have done. I'm gonna tell you this. I wish they would have done what if you play Mass Effect, where you had to go into Legion's world, and then they made it so it was like more understandable. I think if they would have let you do the brain dance, but made the walls a little bit more solid, made it a little bit more realistic, I think it would have been done. I think once you, because it's weird, and you're trying to deal with it.
They took a page out of Wachowski Brothers.
Yeah,
did the Matrix.
Yeah, it's
Shout
weird.
out to the Wachowski Brothers, and I don't know. It felt like a completely different game to me. Right. I was playing Cyberpunk, bang, 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 get out, and then it was like Matrix.
Yeah.
And I played the actual Matrix game. Shout out to the Matrix game. Anybody who played it.
Yeah,
the
I
actual
played it
Matrix
too.
game in between the movies, and in between the Matrix anime or whatever.
Right.
But and that was an excellent game. I would love to see them redo that on this modern platform. It would blow everyone's mind. Anyway, so that kind of, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of the brain dance. I'm gonna just say that.
Brain dance is okay with me. I think it's a necessary evil, but I think it's a good thing because it does bring a lot of different things to the table as far as what you can do, the murders, and seeing how they died and stuff like that.
I just didn't care. I just
I think
at that point in the game I didn't care because I didn't want to trust them to even get in my head, but you had to do it to progress the story.
Yeah.
And I thought is when you first talked to Rogue, I thought you had like different avenues you can take to solve to figure out what's going on with your head. Like you can give Rogue the money and locate the guy.
Right.
You can go to the Voodoo Boys and do the brain dance, or you can follow up with Takamura, which also had information about what can do.
But all of us dead ends.
But it turns out you have to do all of them to progress the story.
Right.
And I kind of thought you had a choice. Like you said earlier in the earlier videos that there was the image of choice, which
it's an illusion.
Yeah, the illusion of choice.
It's an illusion of
really
choice.
Don't have a choice. You have to do all three, and then which order you do, then I don't know if it affects it or not. But I thought if I followed Takamura all the way through, then I can figure out my problem.
I think the story layout is pretty good. I just think that they could have done better with the choices. I think for each faction or each person you did, Street Kid, Nomad, or Corporal, it should have been a different way that you got to the end of the game. Different avenues. So when you played it again, you had another avenue to see what else could have happened. I think the replayability right now for me is down in the dumps because it's not going to, I'm on I have a Corporal that's a level 33, level 50 street cred, and I have a Nomad that I've been working on just to see if the story is going to be different. And to be honest with you, the story is not different. Some of the options of conversation comes up as different. You can say a little different things and a little here and there, and maybe somebody would like you a little faster if you knew how to talk better, stuff like that.
But you meet it's no new characters.
It's no new characters, no new thing. You can't do stuff differently.
No special weaponry.
So this is my thing is that the story so far, playing one tune is good, but once you play on another tune, it's the same story. So once you play it one time, you're not going to really want to go and play it a second time because of the fact of it's being the same story. Now, as far as the story beats, you meet different plays. I mean, like the Voodoo Boys, that whole area was nice to see. Different ethnicity in that area. Is different type of people. It looks different. One thing I can say that each borough looks different. They try to capture a different type of style of each city.
The Voodoo Boys are different. The animals are different.
Right.
The animals I thought were just some throwaway thing, but they're
actually different.
They're actually a real threat in the city.
So I think as far as the story, I like the story. I think it could have been done better, but I do like the detective you meet when you're helping him with his brother. His sister's son. Did you see that one yet? Where you have to go in there as a serial killer and you have to do the brain dance.
Oh no, I started it, but
that's another
across it, but I didn't.
But that's another thing where you do the brain dance and you get to see it. And it's this right here kind of freaked me out because it brought hairs up on my back because you get to see how the mind of a serial killer. You get to see when he was younger. You get to see what his father did to him. Then you get to see him, you know, one of the little boys are trying to escape, and you get to see him pull him back in and kind of choke him like, no, you're not leaving. All that. I was like, oh, wow. I said, woo. I was like, that's right. That right there was like it almost reminded me of you ever seen the movies, Seven Sins? 7 Deadly Sins or Seven? It's called Seven.
Yeah, but with
Brad
Pitt.
Yeah, it felt just like that. It felt just like that.
Well, how about the movie Heavy Rain? How about the game Heavy Rain?
Almost like that. Yeah. But it was like, though, you go in there, you save the kids, and you have to, some of them are dead, some of them are alive, and you're like, really, it's like, wow. So,
tug on your heartstrings.
Right. Now, they had some very good side quests that will tug on your heart. It will make you feel like, dude, this feels real. So the brain dance in that instance made you were in the body of the serial killer. You got to see what he was doing. You got to hear him. You got to feel him. And I was like, okay, that's what I meant by the brain dance. If it's done right, it can bring you into that spot where I
haven't done that one yet because I knew the brain dance was involved, and I just, I just wasn't in the mood for the brain dance. Do it. I will. I'm gonna see the game through because I owe to our viewers we have out there, and the game developers to see the game all the way through because they put a lot of work into this game, man. So the least I can do is play it all the way through. And I'm gonna tell you, I think he gives you his gun after you do that whole thing. Who gives you the gun? A cop?
The cop. And his gun's pretty decent. For some reason, everybody gives you a weapon in this game. It's like, oh, here you go.
There is a pivotal person that you come across that don't give you their weapon.
Who?
In 2012, there was a trailer with a woman in the street.
Oh, I haven't got there yet.
That was taking the bullet shots to the cheek and
I remember that
bouncing off of her. And then it showed the cop come up behind her with the gun to her head, but never took her out. And then it shows her being inside the special police force. So you actually run into her in a clothing store downtown.
Nice.
Yes, there's a clothing store you run into. I can't think of what her name is right now.
Again, spoilers.
Yeah, but you do run into her, and you know it's her because even though she's in a police uniform, you can't see nothing but a mouth. She has those telltale mantis blades it's a blade on the bottom and a blade on the top, like a crescent. Nobody else has that because they were outlawed because they messed with the frontal lobe.
Wow.
But if you follow that through and you see that part, and it's a posh clothing store that's downtown, and then the owner ends up contacting you after the whole incident with that, and then he says, hey, I just found out that cop you dealt with was a cyber psycho that was running amok in the city so and such years ago. So I think she killed like 17 people or something like that, and then they took her and touched her and made her cop. So why can't you get other cyber psychos, get them and deal with them and then use them in missions to help you? Be like, hey,
There's a couple of stories like that, just like in the beginning, where you have to save the police lady, where you can either kill her or you can save her because she's locked up in that room.
Yeah.
And you can actually
she
kill
comes
her.
back and help you at some point, right?
I don't know. I haven't seen her yet.
Oh.
But she does. You can get her to, because the thing is, either you get her to stop by helping her or you can kill her. Either which way. So there's some quests where you can leave a person alive or you kill them. Normally what you can do, spoiler, is leave them alive, wait till everything is said and done, then kill them.
Did you kill Takamura's friend?
I haven't got there yet.
Okay.
I haven't got there yet.
So you haven't done the snipers on parade float and everything?
Not yet. I'm at that point right now.
I killed him because it took because as you play in the game, you get those little heals. You accumulate like 90 or 80 of them or whatever. And I'm down to like 20. That man was all over me.
Was he that good?
He was like, please don't kill my friend.
Was he good? Was he good?
Yeah, he's vicious. Takamura's like, that's my childhood friend. Please don't kill him. I was like, all right, I ain't gonna kill him. Yeah, something. I was like, all right, progress the game. Say a little speed. Boom. Takamura's like, why you kill him? I said, hey, he tried to kill me. He would have done the same to me, so I took him out.
I will remember this.
Yeah, I don't know if it's gonna come back and haunt me, but in the game 2 with him in Act 2, we're still in Act 2, y'all. Another spoiler is if you do the mission where you actually, because Takamura wants to talk to the girl, which is the daughter of the boss.
Right.
The daughter of the boss who was killed by his son, which is her brother. He wanted to talk to her directly because he felt that he can convince her what's really going on and that her brother actually killed their dad. So once you actually go through the sniper, there's a parade and the float for the funeral and everything.
Right.
Once you actually get to her and get her to a disclosed location, you actually get the chance to talk and everything. And then the armed police force or it's the Japanese guys. Maybe it's a Japanese corporation, Japanese corporal, come in there and storm the room, and blow up the room, and then the floor caves in, and you drop down to the floor. You can, and Johnny Silverhand says, "Let's leave. He's gone. Let's get out of here." So you actually can go back and save him, and help him get out of the building, and then he gets out. I don't know how that plays at the end of the game or not, but it comes like once you pass through the floor, you can go to the right and go towards the police to try to escape the building. But there's a small hole in the wall to the left. If you follow that and go to the police and go upstairs, then you'll run into.
I know we're telling you a little bit about the different quests, but play all the quests, play all the side quests, because you will meet a lot of different people. Some quests will stop at certain points, but it'll pick back up. They'll call you later. So, and some of the story, because if you just go from the beginning of the game all the way just through the main storyline, you miss a lot of stuff that they put within the game.
Which he normally does.
Right.
And he didn't do it this time, which amazes me.
Normally I will. I finish the game first, then go back and play everything. But go and play all the side quests. There's a side quest where the guy has a problem with an area downstairs. You have to get him to the fixer before.
The penile implant.
Yeah. Leave it out there. So it's so that's a funny. You would never see nothing like it. It's funny. It's hecka funny. It's hecka, and you run into it like him outside. It's hecka funny. So what I'm saying to you is play the game, play the story. The story is worth it. The side story sometimes to me is better than the main story.
Yeah, the side stories.
Some of the side stories are amazing.
Crazy. Have you done the one where they tell you to deliver a package and it's an actual surgeon that escaped from Japan because he killed the mafia boss?
And you open it up, he's in the trunk.
He's in the trunk.
And you let him go.
And he gives you that katana.
I think I've done that.
And it's called the scalpel.
Yeah, and then he did. Hold on.
Early on in the game, it's called the scalpel.
And then and the lady but you end up paying something. You do something. I remember that because he's in the trunk. Yeah. You lifted up the trunk, he's right there. You like.
You ain't tell me the package was the person.
Right.
Yeah. So and shout out to the transporter with my man Jason Statham.
That was shout out to transporter.
Never look at the trunk.
But right now in Act 2, I am having fun. The synopsis of everything we're saying is fun. I think they could have did some of the story beats better. I think they could have used Johnny Silverhand in different ways. Mm-hmm. But I think that Act 2 makes me want to go into Act 3 or the final version of the game.
Let me ask you the official question. Do you feel like you want to continue on to play on?
Yes.
So you want to progress the game to find out what else is going to happen?
Yes.
So one of the things we mentioned, guys, in our videos is that we base the game off whether we feel like going further in the game if the game draws us into a point where we want to see it through to the end, or halfway through we're just like, yeah, it's the same old crap, we're going to give up.
Right.
So this particular one, my man Blur here says he wants to progress to Act 3.
Do you feel the same?
I feel the same way. I want to see what's going to happen because I put in a lot of
hours,
blood, sweat, and tears in this thing, man. You know, and let's not forget to talk about one of my favorite characters in there, which is Pan Am.
Yes.
And then her group of nomads.
What we're going to leave that a secret because there's a lot of spoilers with that, but finish the whole thing through. And if you do it right, you get a sweet surprise at the end. And
I will say this, though. You do get to drive and operate a tank.
Yes, you do.
And it's not just, it's a basilisk.
Yeah.
It's not just a regular old, World of War 3.
Yeah, it's up off the ground.
It's a basilisk. Yes. It's a super high tech. You'll see.
Because we're talking about spoilers and we can't spoil that, but I think that's a pivotal point of the game when you help her out and you become... for the Nomad, it's kind of like you're in your Nomad world right then and there. But I think, this is again when they missed the opportunity that being a Nomad, dealing with Pan Am and their Nomad group, it should have been a lot more stuff that you could do.
Yeah.
Should have been a lot more options. It should have been a lot more things that you can take advantage of as being a Nomad, dealing with a bunch of Nomads. That's where I get mad at that. They didn't... I'm not going to say they didn't think it through. Maybe they had to cut it. Maybe it was because we already know, we found out there is a lot of stuff that they cut. There was a lot of stuff on the cutting room floor. And so the thing is, I don't know what they cut out of it, but being that, Nomad playing with Nomads, it should have been a little different. It should have been a different route. Even when you remember the lady in part 1 where you had to go, the corporal lady that you make the deal with.
What corporal lady?
You remember
the bathtub?
No. The one that you go before you go into the Psycho's den, well, I forgot what they call the guys with the funny faces with the lights on.
Yeah.
I forgot what they call the storm, I can't think.
Wherever they are, the tech dudes.
Remember the lady before you go in and gives you the spike chip. I can't think of her name.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I think being a corporal, it should have been a lot more that you could do with her.
Oh, okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Other missions specifically.
Other missions or other things that if you didn't betray her, that it could have been because she was a corporal.
Speaking of that, I want that little robot spider thing.
Oh, dude!
It went into the vent.
Hold on. Come to think of it, it was supposed to be given to you.
Yeah,
you were supposed to have been able to use that. That's one of the things they cut off the game.
He was in the game. It went into the little the air vents or whatever. All the stuff went down. I wanted my spider back. I was making up my mind how I'm gonna use that the whole game to infiltrate bases and take out people.
See, that was part of the cyber. See, that's the type of stuff we were saying where some stuff, man, if you had different things, just like really the mantis blades are supposed to be able to climb walls and you're supposed to be able to jump off of walls onto people.
There should be different styles.
And from what I understand, the sneaking around the stealth mechanic was supposed to have where you can cloak yourself.
Like that spider.
Right, you're supposed to be able to cloak yourself for a short time. And it makes sense because to me, the sneaking and the stealth mechanic, to me, is broken.
I think those guys were called the spiders, too, now I think about it. They were the spiders.
Yeah, so, or the maelstrom spiders, I can't remember what they're called.
Spiders.
So my thing is, a lot of missed opportunities. But getting back to Pan Am, very good story. The way they did that whole story and her character, it was good. I don't want to spoil it for you, but play it. Once you play all the story beats with her. There's even some quests you can do with inside once you get to know her group of people. There's other quests that you can do, and one of the quests, if you don't do it right, somebody ends up dying.
Yeah, Pan Am is definitely one of my favorite characters.
Yeah, and I don't know. Judy was pretty good too. Now,
Pan Am's my favorite. So, and Pan Am had that truck with the gun on top that you use at one time and never see it again.
But they'll use it twice.
Yeah, but why can't you just use it during a regular game? You know what I'm saying?
Because you don't do that many car chases.
I know.
You don't do stupid. But no, come on now. Okay, on Pan Am. But Judy's whole story arc too was pretty good.
With meeting Fingers.
Fingers, and did you go up there to help the Mops?
Up there to help them out.
Because there's a quest where you can go up there. And see, this is the beauty of it. I can do quests that he didn't do, and he did quests that I didn't do. Because if you don't...
There's like 75
right,
quests.
Because if you don't call somebody or check on them, or when they call you and you don't answer their call, or you just don't take the quest, or you just don't do it, you can miss the whole thing. There's a part where you help the
Mots.
Well, what they call the dolls.
Yeah. The
Mots go up there and help the dolls to take over that area. You have to do... So there's an arc with Judy all the way up to there.
Oh, okay. And even with Fingers, guys, I do recommend you go back and see Fingers the second you do.
Well, hold on, no. Go see Fingers before you slap him.
Yeah, don't hit Fingers.
Don't hit Fingers.
Go see him. Don't slap him. When you first deal with Fingers and with the story with Judy and the dolls, don't slap him.
Don't slap.
Go back the second you get a chance. When you first go back, right after that mission, the door's locked.
The Lord locked.
Do something. Come back the next day, and purchase the legs.
Yes.
So he has a leg augmentation that nobody else has, which is the ankles, which causes you to slightly float,
right,
or levitate in the actual game itself, and it makes traversing so much easier. Instead of getting a double jump and the charge jump, I got the levitate because I can run, levitate, and if you hold L2, you can actually hold you in the air for a couple of seconds, and you can beat down on people.
Oh, nice!
Rain down.
See, I never used the ankles. I only used the double jump. The double jump leg.
Ankles because when I play basketball, I usually break everybody's ankles. So that's why the ankles stood out.
He's not that good. Don't believe. So, as far as we do want to play the game through, we do want to have more fun. I know we've been kind of rambling, but there's a lot in the game as far as story and as far as certain things that me and him can play the game and still not see every story or do everything.
Yeah. I just hope Act 3 doesn't disappoint.
Yeah, I hope Act 3 doesn't disappoint. So you will hear us. We have one more coming through, and that's going to be when we get into Act 3 once we finish the game.
Yeah, Act 3 and then the final wrap up.
Yeah, well, it would be the Act 3 and the final wrap up because once we get to Act 3, I think it's a point of no return. You have to play the game all the way to the ending, and this is the thing, depending on who you helped, who you did extra missions for, your ending can be different. So What I'm telling you, play the side missions.
All right, y'all. So thanks again. We thank you guys for your time. If there's a particular game that's other than Cyberpunk, or if there's something about Cyberpunk you want to say, leave a comment down in there. We do check our comments.
Yes, we do.
So if there's a game you do want us to review because you like our style, leave it in a comment. Or if you have a comment to make about the way we reviewed this one, or maybe something we missed or even messed up.
Yes.
Because we say stuff wrong sometimes.
It all helps.
Because I got Takamura's name like messed up like the whole.
I don't even use people's name unless it's regular names.
So thank you guys so much.
Hold up, before we do that, please subscribe. Please subscribe to the channel. We want to get, you know.
That's what I was going to say.
Well, I want to say it. You said it last time.
What, did you want to say it now? All right, you get to say it this time.
Please subscribe to the channel. Please give us a thumbs up. Please, so we can get, because we want to get over 30 subscribers to the channel. We've been doing pretty good. The views have been coming in. Leave a comment, leave a thumbs up, and please subscribe to our channel so we can grow, because we want to do more. We want to, you know, get bigger and better games.
We will.
So this is your boy Blur.
I'm your boy Blitz.
And peace out.
Thank you, everybody.